It's 4:06 Wednesday. Here we are from under the seed desk. I'm Marijuana Man, and welcome to the show. Here, right behind me, are rabbit ears. Well, as you can tell, Al's not here, and Kush Queen is no longer in between, but she is my right-hand gal today. Welcome to the show.
Me. Hola, hola.
I'm glad you could make it, or I'd be here alone.
Aww. Duh.
No, Al's on assignment. We sent him off to Zimbabwe. Oh, no.
Wait, I'm
No.
just so used to passing it.
No, just the other side of Vancouver, actually. Yeah, he's not with us today, but we shall enjoy this bit of weed instead.
Peace, man.
Peace and pot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, beautiful day here in Vancouver. Glad you could join us. We're sitting on summertime around here these days.
It's nice.
It's been pretty darn nice. We got other friends in the house, J Mac and Ann and John's over there. Don't wake John up to let him know we've started. Oh yeah, we bored them to death already in here. Now, turns out this show has become the official marijuana show of marijuana.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Just
Wow, what an honor.
making shit up as we go along.
I know.
No, the official.
Half the stories aren't even true.
We're the official show now of marijuana. I don't know what the fuck. I was watching some sports, and it was the official beer of baseball. Huh.
Well, what was it?
I don't know. Doesn't matter really, but I thought, well, fucking, like, how many people die every day because of beer? And you're the official thing of a kid's sport.
Totally.
More on that later. Now, fun times. Alyssa's here flipping the dials and pushing the buttons. She's been pushing our buttons all fucking morning in here.
She keeps pointing at me. I don't know what she's pointing at. Yeah. It's like she just points at me.
No, she does a wonderful job. We're glad she's in the house today. Jeremiah's not here. He's on his way to Tirana. Tirana, is that how they say it?
Jarawanna's going to Tirana, to
So-
T-Dot. That's what they say.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So he took the other cameras. Huh. No, the
So selfish.
the Lift Expo is going on.
What are they lifting?
I don't know. I was more inclined to go. There's another one going on called the Lift and Separate Expo. So I was going to go to that one.
My mind just went in the gutter on that one.
Ah, perfect. My joke paid off. No, the Lift Expo is a big exposition about the burgeoning cannabis industry here in Canada. So they're all getting together from Bubble Man to Tweed down there in Toronto to hawk their wares. Everybody's lining up to get in on the green rush. So, but I looked up Lift. It was odd, though, nowhere on their webpage could I find the address to tell you where to go. But it's in Toronto, which probably isn't a very big place, so
no.
You'll be able to find it pretty easy as soon as you step out of the bus station there onto the prairie. Now,
There'll be big signs. Lift Expo this way.
Yeah, the only
Like,
thing going on in Toronto is the Lift Expo, so it'll be easy. No, I was fairly encouraged, though. They had a little thing they posted on their webpage, and it said, after a few other things, that Canada is poised to once again lead the global revolution towards a truly free, open, and legalized cannabis industry. So I thought that was good that they at least made that statement about a truly free and open cannabis industry, because a lot of the people, in fact, Tweed is there big time, and they don't believe in a free, open industry at all. So it's going to be an interesting weekend in Toronto. I don't know. Everybody's too polite to actually say stuff to these clowns, but there's going to be some live broadcasts from there too. I think Craig X tomorrow. He's going to be live from Cannabis Culture. Is now getting involved in a couple of business ventures there in Toronto, maybe opening this coming week. So Craig is going to be at one of the locations on Queen Street East, perhaps, and Jeremiah will be doing his live show on Friday. Both shows will be airing at their regular times from those Queen Street locations. So tune into that on Pot TV on Thursday and Friday, and you'll see a little bit more about what's going on in the prairies of Ontario. You're moaning about what?
My arms.
Oh, you've got arms. What's wrong with your arms?
They're sore. I'm working out, and when I do this, it hurts.
Well, you know what they say.
No, I don't.
Oh, I was hoping you did, because I don't know what they say.
No,
either.
I don't know either. That's why I'm in pain.
Nope. No pain, no way. That's what I say. No.
No, it's I know. Oh, I know what they say. No pain, no gain, or something like that, right? Okay, yeah. Fuck, I stoned out. Whatever.
So, mentioning Tweed and the LPs, they're out there whining in the press these days about not getting a big enough piece of the action, and you got to get rid of these dispensaries. Wow, these fucking guys are so full of themselves, right? They've tricked investors into giving them millions of dollars, all of them drooling. Here's how it all started, is that they exist only to make money off the backs of sick people. Who the medical marijuana program with the evil conservatives said, you got to buy from these guys only. So they all got all fucking whipped up about the potential profits they were going to make off the sick people and the sick people in the future, hoping that there'd be a lot more sick people is where they were coming from. Right? Like, really, that's the only reason Tweed exists. Then they, suckered all these doofuses into investing all this money into their venture. And now they're finding, when the medical marijuana program started and you could grow for yourself or you could get the government weed, only 9% of all medical users chose that option. 9%. 91% did not. Overwhelmingly said, we want to have our own pot.
Well,
So,
yeah, it was garbage what they were saying to you anyways.
yeah. So then the government said, well, fuck you. We're going to shut it down, and you have to buy from these licensed producers now. And you know what the percentage of them using their weed is now? 8%. It went down.
Down 1%.
Only 8% of medicinal users are going to the licensed producers for their weed. Huh. Well, so then Tweed and the Canopy Growth Corp, or whatever they call themselves, come out whining, saying, oh, they're stealing all the business and they're not even legal and blah, blah, blah. And you go, well, so what? Why does Canada owe you anything? Why does anybody owe them anything? That's fucked up. These clowns have gotten rich by doing nothing. They haven't produced any weed because they have nobody to sell it to. They got big factories all over Canada, and these guys are all worth millions now. How the fuck did that happen?
That's so sad.
You get in the weed business in Canada, you don't even have to sell weed. You just say, I'm in the weed business, and people give you money, I guess. But now they're all trading on, and all over their shit, right? Tweed is all about tweed. They're not about weed. They don't even fucking mention the quality of the weed. The only thing they say about the quality of their weed, and this is what they're all like too, is that it's safe, right? Pesticide free, it's safe, all this shit. And you go, what about the quality of it? Not even mentioned. None of them are striving to bring you better marijuana. Hey, you've got an Eiffel Tower.
I do have an Eiffel Tower.
Wow. Let's put it here with the weed. Oh, there you go. For the French.
Yes.
Right?
Well,
Today.
you know I'm half French, right?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well,
I'm
French Canadian.
I'm not
but
sure.
whatever.
I'm not sure I've seen.
I've always wanted to go to Paris though and go and see the Eiffel Tower. And a friend of mine just went and came back and brought me back this Eiffel Tower.
Isn't
Thanks,
that
Dilly Bob.
thoughtful? You are half French, but I'm not sure I've seen that side of you.
No, you usually just see the Mexican side.
I've
Most
seen
people
the
do.
Mexican
Most
side.
people do.
Can I borrow my lighter?
I guess. Here you go.
So yeah, that's what's going on. So what else with it just goes on and on with these clowns, right? Like the shit is really hitting the fan now. We thought prohibition was fucked up. Man, oh man, this legalization circus that's rolling through our world now is just a embarrassing joke, really, all the way around. But again, I'll predict to you that the rest of the country is going to actually see through these clowns. That they're not transparent enough, or they're not hiding it enough. They're very transparent in what they're up to, and people are going to go, wait a second, this is fucked up. We don't care if it's marijuana or not. We think it's fucked up. So I don't think they can pull it off. Time will tell. Now, I know how much you like surveys. Right.
I love surveys.
9 out of 10 people agree that you like surveys.
You really did a survey on how I like surveys.
Yes.
Fuck.
Depends on how you word stuff. But a survey of more than 200,000 adolescents. Now that's a lot of juice boxes. Don't you think? Like really, and sandwiches for all those kids? But anyway,
I love
they took a
sandwiches.
survey of 200,000 kids from all 50 states in the U.S., and that survey indicates the number of teens with marijuana-related problems is declining. Happy 420.
Happy 420.
Just as we say that the number of teens with marijuana-related problems is declining, is what they're saying. Similarly, the rates of marijuana use by young people are also falling, despite the fact that more U.S. states are legalizing and decriminalizing. And the number of adults using the very same substance has increased. So adult usage is going up and young people's usage is going down as a result of legalization. Ha. Ha.
Huh.
So what are you supposed to do about this, right?
Oh, that big one he's hauling off of. Whoa.
Wow, the fish tank. You should see the two in
That's
the
crazy.
fish
I wish we had a
tank
freaking
today.
camera over
We don't
there.
have the fish tank camera.
No, we don't have.
As
That's a crazy fish up in there,
As
man.
Kush Queen said, you should see the size of the thing he's hauling on out there. Right? Like really, if I could describe it more for you, I would.
It's
But
bigger at the bottom.
I
It's a little
don't
narrow.
want to. I don't want to. Now, as much as we don't like the surveys, yeah, that's a good one. That'll be totally ignored by everyone, right? But the reason that I talk about it.
Surveys are based on real people. When they write these articles and they're like, we did studies, it's like, these studies weren't even done. You're just talking out your fucking asshole.
It's true. Mm-hmm. This one, reasonably good size, 200,000 kids at least. It's not like 14 as usual, but still very encouraging to suggest that that is the trend, that marijuana-related problems with youth are declining, and so is the usage by them. So why then are we so worried about the fucking youth? Seems like it's going pretty good. It's declining. There's less use. Like fucking, so out of Bill Blair's mouth, it's all about public safety. Public safety. He was in the news. Bill Blair's the guy who's the point man, they call him. He's the point man on the marijuana legalization. Like, there's a fucking military term. Fuck off. Point man. Well, a lot of times point man's the first guy to get shot. It really is. Come on. That's why he's there. You take point, Bill. So he was in the news praising the licensed producers, right? This is the whole fucking trip. This is how it goes, right? They just set it up. He goes out in the news praising the licensed producers after they whined last week because they're not getting a cut of the action. See, here's the big problem with the LPs and the idiots that invested in them. Well, beyond the fact that they suck, as J-Mac pointed out, they exist licensed under the marijuana for medical purposes regulations. That's the only reason they exist, and they have to operate totally within those rules. They cannot sell weed to one Canadian that does not have a medicinal marijuana card. And there ain't many of those. They're not allowed to. They're not allowed to open a dispensary and sell weed to the public. They cannot do that. So they're stuck in a fucking rock and a stone place, I'll tell you, because of their stupid for medical purposes regulations that they signed. And they spell marijuana with a H, right, in those regulations. So you guys are fucked, Tweed, and you can come at it just like everybody else does. You and Snoop Doggy Tweed. Their little mascot,
like
Snoop
that.
Dogg.
Snoop Doggy Tweed.
Right? So Snoop Dogg, I don't know if you're watching again this week, but Tweed's out here saying, fuck you, nobody should get to sell weed but us. So if you want to stay involved in that kind of nonsense. But yeah. So he's out there praising the producers, and he said, I have come to believe it is possible for marijuana to be produced in a way that maximizes safety for Canadians. What the fuck kind of empty statement is that? It's a fucking plant. Like, what could it possibly do to you? Right? You can brush up against it and it doesn't do anything to you. You can... All right? My God. And he just gets to say stuff like that. Like just this inference that it needs to be fucking done in a certain way to be absolutely safe. And some other way that it wouldn't be safe. Like, oh, there'll be kickback somewhere from them all. These people are all crooks, right? He's working for the cops is all he's doing, really. Right? He said the licensed producers offer a very strong model to build upon. He's the point man. Hasn't gone across Canada yet. He says he's going to and talk to everybody. He hasn't done that yet, but he's already announced that that's a good model already. No, it's not a good model. And only 8% of the people that want marijuana apparently are going to shop with these guys. So the other 92%, I guess, are going to continue on in the illegal market like we always have. You have to, because we don't want their weed. What do Canadians have to do to say we don't want your fucking weed? You grow shitty weed and you don't know how to do it. You don't care about it. You're just in it for the money.
Well, that's just it right there. That's the main thing about mom and pop growers. Is that's what we love about that weed. Is that it's like we get that love that they've attended to the garden and they love their plants and it's their babies until it's time to crop, and it's like that's what makes weed fucking good in my opinion. And obviously
Well,
knowing how to
absolutely.
fucking grow it. But that's just one of the, major things. I don't want manufactured fucking weed, fucking tweed.
We want
It's
better.
bullshit.
Like, what's going on here where the people who are about to introduce this substance into my society have not ever said that what we want to do is bring you better marijuana? Not one of them said that. They do not fucking, they don't care. They should be saying to me, let us regulate it and tax it or whatever we do, and we'll help bring the price down and help bring the quality of the product up. They have to know that the quality of the product is not very high because we're under prohibition. We don't have the luxury of growing this the way that it could be grown. Idiots like Tweed keep showing the world that right, even under a legal regime, they can't do it. And they're all growing the same way as the Hells Angels, for fuck's sakes. It's all about profit. So, what the fuck? I don't even know what I was talking about. It's so complicated.
Well, that's the thing. It gets you all disorientated.
Yes.
That's how fucked up it is, right? You start to talk about it, it gets you so mad. You just get, discombobulated. And look, now you don't even remember what the fuck you're talking about.
So, every which way you turn, it's all about the youth. It's all about protecting kids. It's all about the youth. It's all about the youth.
But really, what they're saying, it's all about making money. It's all about making money. It's all about making money.
Here's a headline. This summer, prepare to be engulfed in a tsunami of boozy, sudsy root beer. Yes, everyone's eyebrows moved.
Huh?
Yeah, there's a whiskey brewery in Toronto seizing on a trend coming out of the United States. They are going to begin distilling a house-made root beer to create an adult version of the longtime kids' favorite. Huh.
But what about the children? What about the youth?
Interesting. Very fucking interesting how they worded that. They just come right out and say, hey, we're taking a thing that only kids like and we're going to make it dangerous. Huh.
That's like making pornos out of like Disney movie names. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how fucked up would that fucking be?
They're going to put firecrackers in Pampers.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? How can... Like, I don't see how anybody can think that this is a good thing to do. But here's something else they wrote about it. For many, this is the best of both worlds, a chance for adults to revert to the sweet tastes of childhood and at the same time get a buzz. Like, how very contradictory is that statement compared to marijuana,
I know.
right? Where they are going absolutely berserk over anything that might look like a candy. It was all over the news again this morning. Fucking Good Morning America showing you gummy bears and beware. And you go, really? It may well. And I certainly believe that these little
There's vitamins that look like gummy bears.
Yeah, but these little gummy bears marijuana, kids are getting into them, and they are taking them to the hospital. I don't deny that. But, as Kush Queen says, there's gummy bear vitamins. Kids are actually dying from those. Mm-hmm. Not just going to the hospital, they're dying from those. But they don't. Nobody's asked them to change it. Fred Flintstone? Come on. It's a fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
All right? And they're dying. So, I know that guy in the fish tank.
Oh.
His name actually is Tank. No. Fish. His first name's Fish. But, like, really? Really? Root beer? You gotta go to root beer now? What the fuck is that? Man, oh man, that's just so wicked in terms of the hypocrisy being splayed out there about pot. so that alcohols can and they don't even mind saying, right? It's one thing here now to have a dangerous thing that children have a toy of or emulate. Like, I don't know, it's one thing. Like, through all time, kids have had toy guns. Real gun, kill you. Toy gun, can't hurt you. Right? But to take the toy gun that the kids have only never known and turn that into a dangerous thing seems fucking kind of crazy to me. It doesn't send a good message to the kids. Really. Like, fuck off. Have you not got enough flavors in your alcohol? Have you not got enough
Can we
reasons?
just stop worrying about them and just let them grow up? Like,
well, there you go.
seriously.
Michael Moore, the famous documentarian, has a new documentary out there called Where Do We Invade Next? He actually went out and visited different countries around the world to see how they do certain things. And one of the places, I believe it was Finland, they, at one time, had the lowest scores. Their students were way down on the bottom of the barrel for scholastic scores, right there with the United States, as it turned out. And they've actually turned that around and are now number one. Right? They're the smartest kids. And so he went and asked and talked to the teachers and shit. And, as you just said, the teacher said, no, we have to just let them be kids. Right? And that's what they very much encourage, is the kids to have time just to be kids, not to fucking pound. This, in the United States and Canada, too, all they do is they teach you to pass the test. Right? That's what they're doing. Is you're just pounding this information at you to pass the test, and they give you hours of homework to pass the test. And there, they give them no homework. None. It's not about it passing the test. It's about fucking learning shit. So they teach them things, real things that they will need to know and will want to know in their life. What the fuck? Who didn't think of that sooner? Holy cow. And here, I don't know.
Yeah, and my most important life lessons have me been like, I've done it, and then I'm like, oh, that was a bad consequence. I probably never want to do that again. And then I never did it again. It's like,
Yeah. Or
that's just how it is. It's the circle of life.
yeah, that's right. Or you like it. You do something and you like it.
And
you go,
if you do,
I like
it's
that.
your fucking life, and do it. Do whatever makes you happy. I don't know.
But
It's contradicting because we teach children to be individual people and who they are, and not to, blah, 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 but then we're also...
well, the fake morality that they're pulling out here around marijuana, like really fake morality about protecting kids. It's a smokescreen to not see where the money's going to go, right? Like, it's all about the cops. It's all about the cops. Public safety. That's the only people that look after that. Come on. That's what Bill Blair's all about. The point man. Pointed head man. Now, speaking of point men, here's another thing here in Canada. The director of the Canadian Pharmacist Association, he is saying why pharmacists should be dispensing medical marijuana. Like, for all you medical users out there here in Canada, you better watch your fucking backs. This program is about to end. Like, really. If Tweed is to be allowed to get into the game, they have to change the regulations about who they can sell to. Right? So then, what's the difference then? Right? We don't need medical marijuana. I got a feeling they're going to do their best to get out of that program. Or they're going to, the only place that you can get your medical marijuana will be at a pharmacy. But anyway, this clown, Phil, he is the Canadian Pharmacists Association, why they should be dispensing medical marijuana. And they say, of course, it's all about public safety. and how they all play a critical role in health and safety of all Canadians. Not me. You don't play a role in my life. But they go on and on from this point of view. So I looked them up. I looked up what's going on here in Canada with prescription drugs. Ooh. Prescription drugs taken in a hospital are prescription drugs taken as prescribed in a hospital are the 4th leading cause of death in Canada.
Yeah.
Really? Phil?
My friend just got in a motorcycle accident, was given painkillers and muscle relaxants to make him better, and that ended up eating the inside of his stomach, the stomach lining. So now he's in the hospital for days because he can't stop throwing up. And do you know what they do to help that? They give him more pills.
Give him a different medication.
You know, different medication to make him stop puking and this and that. And it's just like, it's sad to watch. It's really fucking sad. It's not helping. It doesn't help. It's all just to make money. It's to make you sicker so that you have to now take this prescription and buy this prescription. Now you have to buy this prescription. Now you have to go get this. It's fucking joke. And they're just killing people. They don't even care about us at all.
These are just prescription drugs taken as prescribed in the hospital. This is not including people who have been prescribed those very drugs and are not in the hospital. That causes about 10,000 deaths a year in Canada. 10,000 deaths a year. And the pharmacists say that they're concerned mostly about our safety. It makes you hack. It just makes you cough when you hear stuff like this, right? No. The 4th leading cause of fucking death in Canada is caused by that. Come on. Right? Over-the-counter drugs, for Christ's sakes. 15,000 people in North America die every year from aspirin and ibuprofen. 15,000 every year. Tylenol is the cause of thousands of hospital admissions and hundreds of deaths annually in North America. Now, the Canadian Pharmacists Association, which Phil is speaking on behalf of, who said that they should, he reported to a commission that between $2 and $9 billion a year is wasted on the overuse and misuse of prescription drugs by doctors. Between 2 and 9 billion, which is quite a range.
Can you open it for me?
No, this is all a scam, right? In Ontario, under the current Coroners Act, all prescription and other over-the-counter drug deaths are identified as natural. If you die from a prescription drug in Ontario, your death is listed as died of natural causes. Oh, shit.
What?
That's true.
That is bullshit.
That's what keeps all these pharmacists off the hook. The doctors and the pharmacists, they're fucking stealing all our money and killing people. What the fuck's going on here? Who signed up for this? Nobody asked me. In my whole life, Greg, is that okay if we allow doctors and the pharmacies to kill people and steal your money? What the fuck? And why is there no politician standing up against these guys? Man, oh man, it's getting just fucking horrible here. Like, have you pharmaceutical companies not got enough money yet? Why do you keep needing more and more money? What the fuck? Billions and billions and billions of dollars, uncountable billions of fucking dollars they're all making. When have you got enough?
What a fucking fuckery.
Like, why does it have to continue? Why do you have to keep now? Like, it's fucking frightening, actually, how the whole thing is going here around opioid shit. Last week, I told you Last week I told you about a bill that was introduced in the U.S. House of U.S. whatevers that was passed overwhelmingly about the concern of the opioid deaths and destruction going on in the United States, but they also had to amend it quickly to get any marijuana out of it. So they passed that bill, and the very next day in the news there was a survey that was released suggesting that the causes of death by opioids has been overblown, right? Like out of nowhere they say, oh no, there's not as many as they're saying, right? So they're beginning to defend now that all these people are not dying from being fucking addicted to opioids now. So they're all coming out of the closet, right? Now, here's one writer said, by all accounts, we're in the midst of a deadly drug epidemic so severe and widespread that few people in North America will remain untouched by it. Right? Right now we have probably the highest rate of narcotic abuse and deaths in modern history. Huh.
I believe it.
Oh yeah. It's
it's
fucking
sad.
everywhere.
It's sad. Everybody is popping pills, snorting rails, like, crushing up the pills. And it's just,
Well, and
it's fucking sad.
mostly
it's
they're
really sad.
talking about poor souls that have gone to the doctor
Well, that's
for
the
relief.
thing. That's how they
right?
get addicted.
Yeah.
They get prescribed it, and then it feels really fucking good, and then you just continue to do it. And when you can't get your prescription filled anymore, you find another way of getting it. It's sad.
Now they're beginning to rail against it. But here was a weird fucking point of view given this subject. This headline, we're losing the war on pain by linking prescriptions to drug abuse. We're losing the war on pain by linking prescriptions to drug abuse. And this is the point that they're taking here. It is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever read. Inequality of access to controlled medications for pain management and other clinical uses is now a public health and human rights crisis. Because the world is railing against the number of people who are dying from these opioids, the people who are using them now are saying that it's the access is unequal because we're thinking about trying to get rid of it, and now it's a public health and human rights crisis. They're calling anyone who's against the opioid crisis prohibitionists, which is the weirdest fucking thing. I don't know how that works. They continue to point out that we're in the top 10 prescribers of these medications. Right? But they say what they fail to point out is about 90% of countries have such strict relations their citizens don't have access to them, even for the pain of cancer. Right? It's just, you could use the word marijuana for opioid here in the whole fucking thing. Right? We are suffering all of these very same things. The commission said there are many myths and exaggerations about opioid use that have stigmatized people who use them. And rather than lowering the risk of abuse and addiction, prohibition has made the problem worse by forcing many people to turn to the streets for opioids. You can absolutely replace marijuana for that fucking statement. No, it's fucking nuts. Here's a guy who wrote in the comments. He says, I've been saying for a couple of months now that the war on chronic pain patients is a violation of our human rights.
Shut up.
Right? So when I was telling Rose about this story for the show today, she said, sounds like a fucking addict talking. They sound just like addicts, the way they talk, right? Don't be taking our... Weirdest fucking thing. Do you like dogs? You like pets?
I love dogs.
Nice.
I really want one.
Well, down in Fredericton, New Brunswick. New Brunswick's back in the news.
I was gonna say, I thought we were
Yeah, we're not supposed to, but there's a vet there, Dr. Dan.
Dr. Dan.
He's seen a dramatic increase in dogs stoned on marijuana.
Really?
Yeah.
Lucky dogs.
Well, lucky Dan. It seems like he's stoned on marijuana and he's seen a dramatic increase in dogs. A lot more business, I guess. More dogs coming to Dr. Dan and he's stoned on marijuana.
He's stoned on marijuana.
No, that's not what he's saying. But Dr. Dan says more medical
So
marijuana.
what if the dog needs it?
Well, he's
Yeah, that's right.
he's got to pay for his own, get his own
So?
connections,
So?
right?
No, I'll find him a couple
Don't
connections.
bring don't be bringing your
we can hook
friends
them up with
around.
connections, but they got to pay
Yeah.
for it themselves.
For sure, there'll be Rottweilers and Dobermans and pit bulls that'll
Oh,
have
yeah.
some weed.
I don't know. I'm not against animals needing cannabis at all.
Well, Dr. Dan has more concerns. He says more medical use means more dogs being treated for marijuana toxicity. Toxicity, interestingly enough. Well, yeah. When you look up the word toxicity,
Interesting point.
yeah, it is the
Alyssa.
level to which the fucking host is damaged, right? He admits to no damage whatsoever. Dr. Dan says it's very rare for marijuana toxicity to cause death in pets, and there are generally no lasting problems. They might be hungry for 2 to 12 hours, he said. Like, how the fuck do you know that? Dan, Jesus Christ.
From experience.
Your dog will eat anything,
He
anytime.
gets his dog high all the time.
Like, really. But no, and all over Google today, marijuana search, that story was going around and around. It's all about pets on weed again. Like, it's just regurgitated news. They just fucking spin a wheel somewhere. Like, okay, well, we're going with marijuana and pets today. So they all, from Texas to fucking New Brunswick, they write stories about it. What the fuck? It's so silly. Here's another funny thing. Flo Matheson, a 77-year-old candidate for Tennessee's congressional district, is in legal trouble after after 180 marijuana plants. Oh no. 180 marijuana plants were found growing in a barn behind her house.
She should have just fucking dug in.
No. Flo denies knowing anything about the indoor operation. And it was built by her friend Steve, whom she said she let stay in her barn in exchange for work around the house after he became homeless and penniless. So Steve, of no fixed address, no history, he was homeless, right? So you can't trace Steve. She says, I've never seen them. I never went back there. 77-year-old says, who she says smokes 2 to 3 times per week. Flo also makes oil from leaves given to her by Steve and says they did not come from the barn, though.
Oh my God.
And she said they didn't come from the barn because those plants weren't far enough along yet.
Oh, come on,
Right?
Flo.
After the search warrant was served, law enforcement also found 2 ounces of weed, cash, and a firearm inside her house. She said the weed did not come from the barn, though. No shit, but from a friend who owed her money.
Oh my God.
She
Flo's a G,
Yeah.
man. Oh my God.
She has no remorse for the legal trouble she is facing. I really do not regret that this happened. It's been a life-changing experience for me, and that it made me more defiant and determined to try to get these laws changed.
No kidding.
Good for you, Flo. Sticking to
Yay,
your
Flo.
guns, too, eh? Didn't even give up Steve. Gave him an out, too. So I don't know where that was. We're in Tennessee, for fuck's sakes. Yee. Ah, ha, ha. Well, here was kind of an odd thing. This is in Los Alamos, New Mexico.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, an explosion at a Los Alamos apartment complex was caused by a man lighting a pipe to smoke marijuana. It happened earlier this month. About 100 residents were displaced when the explosion caused a fire. One person was injured and brought to the inn for treatment. According to, it says, according to the Santa Fe New Mexican, I'm guessing that's the name of the, I don't know, just a New Mexican? Just one Santa Fe New Mexican? 26-year-old Joseph is accused of starting the fire when he lit a pipe to smoke marijuana. Police say that Joseph had ignited butane previously while trying to make marijuana wax. But at this time, he was only trying to light a pipe. They didn't say it was a butane explosion. They just said the fire was caused by him lighting a pipe to smoke marijuana. So far, no charges have been laid. Well, I gotta say, look, Joe, you know, you should stay the way, a long way away from fire. Like, really. Like, a lesson learned, maybe. Don't be lighting fire. Oh, another fish in the tank.
Where?
Nice.
Whoa.
We turn the tank. We should get the
I think he's.
turn
I think
the
he's
tank.
talking. I think
tank
he's
lights
talking
on.
to us too.
Really?
Yeah, man.
No, he's talking to a buddy.
Oh.
Pretend buddy.
Oh.
Huh. We should get to turn the lights on in the tank. And pump a little more air in there, maybe.
Where'd he go?
Oh, he's hidden under the treasure chest. He went in. Pretty sure he went into the castle, didn't he? Too funny.
Oh yeah, I see him. Yeah, that's funny.
Now, I don't know. It just goes on and on. The people who are most prepared to benefit from legalization and regulation is the health industry. And here, it was just in a fucking like Terrace, BC newspaper, for Christ's sakes. Here's Dr. Fumerton. She's the Northern Health Authority's Terrace-based medical health officer for the Northwest, in the Northwest, by medical health people that are authorities in the Northwest.
I was hoping you'd say Northwest one more time.
Quite a title, I gotta say.
Fuck's sake.
But Dr. Fumerton, she says marijuana can actually worsen symptoms of depression. Regular use before the age of 25 is shown to negatively affect the brain development. Right? And all the other shit that you hear from these health people about the early onset of schizophrenia. Our recommendation is that people under the age of 25 should not be using cannabis, also known as marijuana.
I knew it.
He's like the fun elementary teacher that did funny noises when it was like time to read the book. You know what I mean? I like it.
She added that she and most of her medical colleagues in the whole province agree. Really? Now, earlier this year, the Canadian Centre on Substance Abuse released a report that they concluded current debates about cannabis use are rife with mere opinion and misinformation. And to complicate the matter further, the evidence related to the possible health risks of cannabis use appears to be contradictory. Huh. That was their conclusion, that it was confusing and contradictory. Well, yeah, because there's been no research done on it at all. Right? But, of course, the Canadian Centre on Substance Abuse, they sorted it all out, given that there was no information. They actually came to their own conclusions. It's fucking sad. It can be addictive. They use the 5 to 9% of people get addicted, blah, blah. Now, Dr. Fumerton agrees and says that the key with legalization will be tight regulations with the goal of decreasing access, something she calls a harm reduction approach. This is what she says that we should be doing to legalize marijuana is in a harm reduction approach. Holy fuck.
It doesn't do any harm.
The, here's out of her mouth. She said the other key to
Out of her mouth.
like really, the other key is to make sure that regulations are evidence-based. Huh. You could say that? Like really? Aloud? You fucking idiot. Regulations are evidence-based, not money-driven. Come on, Doc. It's what you're doing. Trying to drive it into the public health spectrum because that's where you work. And all of your fucking health friends agree, right? Across the province, they all agree. Sure, we should have marijuana to look after. Fucking right. They've said that it gives you psychosis. Oh, they said that it hurts you. You're not going to give marijuana to somebody till they're 25 and you'll give them alcohol when they're 19? Fuck off. You idiots. And send them to war when they're 18? Holy shit. You people are cruel and unusual. Here's what she went on to say. We need to be constantly researching and looking at the data and monitoring how this is impacting the health of people in the province. We need to be constantly researching. That's what she's saying, folks. That's the key to her whole program, is that we need to be constantly researching, because I will be out of a job. This woman has a bachelor degree in science. A bachelor degree, for fuck's sakes. You can get those at the 7-Eleven. That is one of the easiest things you can get.
That's fucking hilarious.
I don't know. I don't know how she came to be in this position in the Northwest, just northwest of the Northwest, right? Oh, just science. Yeah. Now, she said she hopes that legalizing and tightly restricting where, how, and to whom. She's a very young woman, too. Like, it's not like she's an old crotchety thing. You could appreciate that.
An old crotchety thing.
She's a very young, vibrant woman, probably in her 30s, for God's
never
sakes.
heard that.
Out of her mouth, she sounds like a grandmother. She says that, bless us all, particularly my shoulder. No.
I didn't sneeze on your shoulder.
Even if you did.
Bless it.
Yes. She says that she hopes that legalizing and tightly restricting where, how, and to whom marijuana is sold will decrease access to this substance, especially among youth to whom it can be so harmful. So, she works for the Northern Health fucking outfit, and I went to their webpage. And a portion of it said, "Welcome to Northern Health's recruitment website. At Northern Health, we build for the future." Huh. We build for the future. Acquiring and retaining high-quality talent is a high priority for our organization's success. Not for your success. Not for the hope that we'll cure everybody and we'll all be out of work. We're building for the future. Really?
Oi, oi, oi.
Meaningful and rewarding careers. A career is a
How
lifetime.
romantic.
They're not saying, hey, come on and join us till we get over this sickness and illness. They never say that. It's for a lifetime, right? It's fucked up. Meaningful and rewarding careers. Come on, Doc. Like, they shouldn't even print this shit in the paper. They should print what I say. Here's the thing. I look around all the time at marijuana stores here. They don't let you even comment anymore. They've stopped letting you comment on marijuana stories. Huh. You can comment on every other
Sneaky little
fucking
fucks.
story there is out there on the net. Not marijuana stories anymore. because we're all right and everybody is agreeing in the comments that whatever you're printing is fucked and biased and one-sided. So, Dr. Fumerton up there in the north was receiving complaints out of Prince George about complaint about tattoo artists,
Which one?
which turns out is a fairly unregulated industry. An unregulated industry. Huh. Tattoo artists.
People just like to complain. They're so bored with their own miserable lives. They just complain. Like, it's just fucking annoying.
But it's interesting. An industry exists out there, unregulated. Just like marijuana dispensaries, unregulated. What the fuck? Everybody knows
mean,
that
like, who
tattoo shops
cares?
are everywhere and it's okay. Nobody minds. I don't mind. No, the hypocrisy. Well, anyway, I've blathered on long enough. What have you got? Oh, this is Carly's show for me. Fucking Monday. Do that.
Okay, just kidding.
It is. We found Carly's show.
I did actually find Carly's show, and it says my name on it.
Let's.
So there's an announcement event that she announced about me and Jer.
I'll just read those.
No, I can't.
No?
No, I'll be breaking the contract.
Oh, here I can read it then. Yeah, she's not allowed to read it from anybody else's script. Hey.
Only my own.
Intro video for 36 seconds. Discuss Creed's album release, the event, the process, the importance of ending stigma through music. I'm going to guess that this was way more exciting when Carly did it.
I know, right?
Eh? Show peace, it says. Dab with peace.
Oh, speaking of dabbing, we should dab.
Let's dab.
Let's have a dab.
One last dab.
Should we dab some butter or
Whatever you got.
like
I
a
got
Butter
some
King butter?
clear
Yeah.
shit.
The best of the best.
Well, I hope everybody out there in the chat is having fun, and those viewing are also coming into a nice springtime
I have
somewhere.
the chat here. I've been watching it secretly.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Secrets make her squeeze and squeal.
Ooh, no, I think it's all the cannabis on the table.
God,
So
that could
there's no one in the chat. Brian Kerr, Maddie Moe, Silver Lake, Vic BC Vape Stoner, Pot Dragon,
be nice. Wow.
Jay Hendricks,
A lot of new names.
yeah. D Link 91, Professor Weed, Barcode Teacup. Cool.
Fun. Well,
Hi,
thanks for
guys.
joining us.
Professor Ziggy. Cool.
We're going to get out of here and keep ducking and weaving. Thanks to Alyssa for helping us out today and getting it all set up.
Sheet a bomb.
Keeping the
Sheetabomb.com.
streaming. J-Max, the only guy left in the house over there. Thanks for staying. All right. John fell asleep and then left.
Fell asleep then left. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I hope everybody has a good time. If you can get a chance to go down to the lift, Mark and Jody will be there. Jeremiah.
Jarawana. I love that.
I imagine a number of...
We ruined it.
Yeah, we crushed it.
Oh my God, someone said never heard a sneeze like that. My dog perked up. That's fucking
Is that what they
awesome.
call it? Wow. That cleans out the lungs pretty good. Well, So yeah, from here behind the sublimator. So yeah, check out Lyft over the weekend and tune into Pot TV. Tomorrow and Friday they'll be live from downtown T Dot. Is that it?
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Running through the 6 with my woes.
Yeah, who isn't? Who didn't? All right. Oh, you're doing that again. Yeah, nice.
With my woes.
Yeah,
You know
that's
how
what we
that shit
call
go.
them.
You know how that shit goes.
And it never does, because that's why those boys are always singing about it, because it never does go the way they think it should.
No?
No, it goes the way the woes want.
Oh, that's right. Woes run the world.
Been here. Yes, it's very true. In, I don't know, in Iceland, during the
In Iceland.
during the world financial collapse, all of their banks failed in Iceland except the one run by women. No shit. And they were kind enough, not those women, but the country at large, put all those bankers in jail. They didn't do that here. Put them all in jail. Huh.
Crazy.
So, check it out. All right. Well, thanks for Kush Queen for being a lovely co-host today.
Thanks for having me.
A lot more
It was
room
nice.
without it.
I know.
Hey?
I can shimmy. I can move.
Shimmy, I didn't know.
I can
There
I
could
can
have.
do this. I
But-
can do this.
It's late now, but there could have been time for shimmy.
I just shimmied.
I know, but there could have been more time for it. Didn't know. All right. Well, thanks for playing along with us. I had fun, and we'll be back next week. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
we'll
I'll be back next week. Yeah,
we'll
okay.
see how it goes.
You know what? Actually, I might not be back next week. It's supposed to be really nice next week, and I might escape to a Soyuz
Yeah,
and
wow.
go up there for a bit because I fucking deserve it. So
Yeah, and we need a break too sometimes. Been doing this a long time, week after week, so I haven't taken
it's
too
true.
many shows off. So I don't know, we might take a break this summer a bit. So tape this so you can watch it over and over again
That's right.
if we don't do a show. But we'll keep you posted on that. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there. Fight for the legalization of marijuana with reason and fairness. I'm Marijuana Man. We'll see you next week. Peace and pot.